Somebody, Anybody, a philosophical address on waiting, abdication, and the engineered stillness of the human soul. First, the waiting room. Sometimes we wait for somebody, sometimes we wait for anybody, but ourselves, there are fragments so precise they arrive already humming, already complete. Like knives already sharp, they do not need explanation so much as they demand use. This is one of those fragments. It opens not with theory, but with ache, the ache of deferral, the ache of helpless poise, the ache of the extended pause between breath and action. This is a fragment about waiting, yes, but not just any kind of waiting. This is about the abdication of agency, the spiritual outsourcing of initiative, the tragic hope that salvation will appear in someone else's hands. We begin with a simple pairing. Sometimes we wait for somebody. Who? It does not say. But this first line carries a faint whiff of the personal. It is not someone in general. It is somebody. The word implies a known unknown, an object of desire, or at least familiarity. It suggests a life shaped by the presence or absence of one specific figure, a friend, a lover, a leader, a god. We wait for this person because we believe, or once believed, they matter. But we do not stop there. Sometimes we wait for anybody. Here the tone shifts. Anybody is not personal. It is general, even desperate. It implies that the original somebody has failed to arrive. The figure of intimacy has been replaced by a placeholder of possibility. The one we waited for did not come, so now we will take anyone. We will accept any intervention, any answer, any guide, as long as it is not ourselves. And so we arrive at the knife, but ourselves. It is not just that we do not act, it is that we do not expect to. We have placed ourselves outside the arena of response. We are not the ones we are waiting for. We never were. This is the fracture in the soul, the deferral of motion, the quiet suicide of will. 2. The philosophical collapse of agency. This three-line device, produced, sharpened, and deployed by the Zero Friction Machine Company, operates with surgical precision in the realm of moral paralysis. It exposes the foundational glitch in the human mind, our inclination to disown our own authority. To wait for somebody is to cling to narrative. To wait for anybody is to abandon narrative. But to wait for anyone but ourselves is to abandon command. And this raises the real question: why do we wait this way? Fear, yes, but not just fear of failure. More precisely, fear of sovereignty. It is terrifying to discover that the gates are not locked, and that we have been waiting inside them by choice. It is unnerving to realize the hero was always meant to be us, and that our refusal was the only true villain. In theological terms, this is the essence of idolatry, the hope that someone else will carry what was always ours to bear. In psychological terms, it is a form of delay disguised as virtue, the rehearsal of action without the risk of its consequence. But in metaphysical terms the Zero Friction Machine Company knows well, it is a form of energetic stillness. Not peace, mind you. No, a different kind of stillness. The stillness of the unstarted engine, the ghostly hum of possibility that never touches ignition. 3. The function of the fragment as a ZFMC device. Now let us speak directly of the machine. This fragment is not a quote. It is not advice. It is a mechanism. As with all ZFMC devices, its purpose is not to soothe, but to reveal. Its function is not to instruct, but to interrupt, to jam the gears of unconscious continuation and bring the mind into abrupt crystalline contact with itself. Somebody, Anybody is one such jolt. Its primary components, the recognition engine. It operates by mirroring the reader's secret posture. Many who encounter this fragment report a brief moment of heat behind the eyes or a shudder in the belly. That is the engine activating. That is the soul remembering its own position, where it has stood, what it has avoided. The identity circuit, it triggers a recursive loop of identification. Who is the somebody? Why did they not come? Who is anybody? And most sharply, why not me? This loop is what causes the internal combustion of transformation. It generates the necessary pressure for ownership. The silence switch. Once the loop collapses, the fragment leaves the reader in a peculiar stillness. This is not emotional silence, but narrative silence. The silence that comes when the story ends and nothing arrives to take its place. Here is where movement may begin, on the far side of the unspoken. The machine's intention, then, is not to direct action, but to remove the shelter that prevents it. It does not tell you to act. It simply informs you that no one else is coming. 4. The implications of the final line let us now return to the fragment's closing line, but ourselves. There is something brutal about this phrase. It arrives without decoration, without apology. It offers no explanation, no comfort, no alternative. It is not even a command. It is a notation of absence, a surgical reveal. It says all of this whole business of waiting, has only ever applied to one party, the one who isn't standing up, and that, of course, is us. The fragment does not condemn this, nor does it pardon it. It simply presents the conditions. You waited for somebody, then you waited for anybody. But the one you did not include in your waiting was you. And what happens when the waiting ends? Well, that is the part the fragment does not say. Because the machine is built to end the trance. What you do after, whether you stand, speak, build, burn, or bless, that is no longer the machine's concern. It does not require repayment. It only asks that you return to the scene of the abdication and pick up what was once laid down. 5. The moral cost of abdication, but let us not dismiss the tragedy too quickly. There is cost in waiting. There is rot in waiting. There is a kind of soul mildew that forms in long periods of suspended command. One becomes bitter, theatrical, suspicious. One comes to believe that not only are others responsible for salvation, but that they are withholding it. And so we hate them, those who never arrived, even as we refuse to move. This is the dark gift of abdication, the moral license to remain passive and self-righteous at once. Somebody should have come. Anybody could have helped. Don't look at me. I was waiting. These are the mantras of the self-defended victim, and they are warm, addictive, fatal. 6. The light beyond the machine yet. The final truth is not cynical, for there is a grace in discovering that it was always you. There is a strange thrill, almost divine, when you realize that you are the one, not by virtue, not by superiority, but simply by presence. You were there, you were breathing, you were awake. And so it falls to you. You are the one who must open the door. You are the one who must speak the truth. You are the one who must walk out of the holding pattern and enter the storm. And what comes next? Maybe everything, or maybe nothing, but you will have done it. And that, says the Zero Friction Machine Company, is the end of the wait and the beginning of flight.